Hey, my name is Kimberly James, owner of Josie May, and my clients pay me to bring their vision to life. I empower them through creativity, mindset transformation, and personal growth by offering digital and physical products that reflect our unique style. Craft workshops to spark your creativity, 30-day challenges to expand your mind, and one-on-one coaching to help you achieve your goals. Thank you for joining me today. I have a wonderful guest. Her name is Takina, and I am going to read her bio. Takina's journey is a testament to resilience, adaptability, and passion. It all began in 2011 when, while working as a cashier at Dunkin' Donuts, a chance encounter led her to a paralegal position. This unexpected opportunity set on a rewarding path in the legal field where she helped people navigate challenges in consumer law, workers' compensation, and asbestos litigation. Despite the fulfilling career, the legal industry brought instability. Layoffs and pay cuts forced her to pivot. Takina embraced flexibility, taking on roles as an independent contractor with Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, and even bartending and chauffeuring. Eventually, she landed a project specialist role at Chicago Transit Authority, supporting top executives. Yet, her desire to work for herself continued to grow. Her first entrepreneurial venture, a party bus company, taught her valuable lessons about fit and timing, especially when COVID-19 hit. After exiting the business gracefully, she discovered a franchise opportunity in apparel printing. To ensure that it was the right move, she interned first and quickly fell in love with creativity it offered. With determination, she quit her job and opened a print shop in Oak Forest, Illinois. The business thrived for 3 years, but challenges like market saturation and tough franchise agreement pushed her to pivot again. Exiting the franchise, she launched her independent brand, Tipsy Threads, and eventually discovered her true calling in pet retail industry. Today, Takina is the founder of PetTee Apparel, offering custom pet apparel and accessories. With lessons learned, a relentless drive, and a commitment to building meaningful relationships, she's more focused than ever on making Pet Tea Apparel a success. Her story is one of perseverance, passion, and the belief that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. So, thank you and welcome my guest, Takina of Pet Tea Apparel.
And thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. I'm in the presence of greatness right now, everyone.
Oh, thank you so
It's the
much.
truth. I don't have to lie. It's the truth.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I have known Takina a couple years now, right? We met, but
Yes.
it's been
About
at
two.
least 2 years.
Yes.
We're kind of in the same, well, we were in the same, doing custom apparel.
Custom apparel.
And a fellow custom apparel person introduced us. And we've been, kind of talking ever since. And I love her journey that she's been on. And we're just going to kind of jump in and talk about her business and kind of what she's doing and how she's pivoted and how the business is growing. So, who is Takina and what's the story behind Pet Tea Apparel?
Well, Takina is a person who's always had to figure it out. Even when I was a kid, I had a rough upbringing. I was forced to be an adult before my time, having to take care of my younger brothers and sisters. So I kind of just really grew into the person who always has to figure it out for everyone, including myself. I've always had the entrepreneur spirit, just like everyone else falling into the norm of working for someone. So I felt like I kind of wasted a lot of my years doing that because it was unsatisfying. I had to work more than one job at the same time, again, doing Uber, Grubhub, bartending, having a full-time job in addition to being a single mother. I've always had to have some type of side hustle. Um, PetTee Apparel came about, as you mentioned, where one thing I was an inexperienced business owner, and I did not understand how saturated the market was in the Chicagoland area for apparel printing. We can go somewhere else like Colorado, and some other states and just flourish, but here it's just totally saturated. So I had to pivot, and there was some things that I was thinking about when I first started the journey, and I just kind of, pushed it in the back of my mind. And my question to myself was, why can't I print on pet clothes? And so that was a question that I asked myself probably within the year of me opening, because it was almost instantaneous, the challenge of entering the market and gaining new customers, and trying to shift customers from other people to myself, because I'm competing with where we're competing with at-home moms, small businesses like us, and then the bigger companies who get all of the contracts from the schools, the different not-for-profit organizations, that so they get a lot of the print work and the contracts and stuff. So that, like, again, the question I asked myself was, why can't I print on pet clothes? So at that time, I just did a little bit of research on finding suppliers, because it's all about suppliers. I'm not making anything. But again, I know we all know that everything is being made in China. However, I did not want to order straight from a China distributor, get the items, and it's cheap. I'm all about quality. Well, I know you are too. So, we're all about quality, and I didn't want to order cheap things, and the shipping, and then you get the items is super cheap. So I just didn't even want to go through that. So I just kind of put it on the back burner. But fast forward, just being able to thrive, and I have my customer base and they keep coming back. But it was only making ends meet. So I, just really circled back to that idea. One of my mentors at the time, that was his area of expertise, was custom apparel printing. So I asked him if he knew any suppliers, and he said the most simplest answer that I never would have thought about had if I had not asked him. He said, go to a pet expo. I didn't even think about that was even a thing. It didn't never cross my mind. And I asked that question literally at the right times, nothing but God. I asked that question at the right time because I had about 3 or 4 months before one of the biggest expos was to take place in Las Vegas. And I went, and it was the best expo I ever went to. I mean, it's a different type of people. It was so fun. I'd never been to Vegas. It was at Mandalay Bay. Oh my God, I had such a good time. And people were so forthcoming with information. I had paid for the specialized classes and pet retail. All of that was informational, just collecting contacts. It was a God provided experience. The connections I made, the education that I learned, I was excited because before I started really honing in on the idea of pet clothes, I lost my drive for pet apparel. But I'm um so financially invested in whatever, well, not whatever, with this business succeeding. I can't even think about anything outside of that. I've literally spent over, when I opened up the shop, I literally spent about, let's say, a rough estimate of 50,000 cash in my own money. So there's no turning back. I'm tied to a 5-year lease. So it was just like, I have to make this work.
Mhm.
It's just like pivoting when I decided not to become a paralegal anymore. I still, when I went to CTA, I just pivoted, because that was my background. So it's the same here, where I pivoted into something else.
Yeah, I can definitely understand the investment that goes into starting a business. And yeah, when you say 50K, I'm I'm there.
Be
It's
more, because I've seen your
yeah.
equipment, and the equipment alone is a chunk of your money.
Well, and
And
we
we got quality equipment. Like, everything we do has to be quality, because you see people wearing custom apparel, and a person may ask them, "Oh, who did your shirt?" And they may be asking you to know, I won't ever be going to that person because it looks cheaply made, like the design is not there. So, everything we do is all about quality, even the equipment that we buy.
yeah, and then model my space just to accommodate the business. But enough about that. Okay, so PetTee Apparel, because just the thought of the amount of money that has been
Yes.
invested in the business, and I'm in the middle of pivoting my business as well. So it's hard to step away from physical products completely because of the investment that's already been made. How do you do that? Just kind of step away. So I definitely understand that. So I'm working on trying to figure out how the physical products can pivot with where my business is going. So I still enjoy doing it, but I just don't want to do it full time anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so PetTee Apparel. It's such a cute name. What inspired it and why pets? And do you have a fur baby?
So I don't have a fur baby because I am a full-time. I actually had to go. Wait, I had to go back to work in September. Do you know the how I had to humble myself to do that? To make ends meet while going through my pivot. So I'm a full-time employee. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. My husband is a truck driver who has long hours. We have the only kid we have at home is 15, and you know how kids are. Our daughter is still here. She's an adult. She doesn't have any kids. She come and go as she please. Who's going to take care of a dog? Who has that kind of time? So I do not have a dog, but I do enjoy other people's dogs. And then you asked me where did the name come
Oh,
from?
where did the name come from?
So, connections, relationships is a commodity. One of my old mentors, I was telling him my idea, and
Mhm.
he actually came up with the name, and I really liked it. So, I kind of ran with it. I had my graphic designer create a logo. I just described to him what it was. I said I wanted it colorful, and what he came back with was astounding. But the name itself, like it was available. And it really plays off of what we do which is printing tees
Mhm.
and sweaters and stuff like that. So it was like a perfect match.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I like the name and I love your logo. I do love your logo.
Ew.
I do love your logo. Okay, so you talked about attending the expo in Vegas. What has there been a challenge entering into the pet industry?
Well, I can't say yes right now because that happened in August.
Mm,
Before I even left the expo, I found my paperwork with Secretary of State. And so now we're in December. So, I'm still working, it's still fresh. The
mhm,
only challenge that I could say immediately was the suppliers that I met
mhm,
opening an account. They really didn't. A majority of them were like, "Hey, come on board. We'll love to have you." But others were a little bit more bougie, like, "Well, I need you to get your website up first." Basically, they want me to have a little time before I can work with them, and I'm just like, I don't really know how I feel about that. I understand from a business perspective, but at the same time, it's kind of like you shunning small businesses, new businesses. I have all my paperwork. I have business bank accounts, so there's really no reason why you don't think like what can I do like other than order your stuff and sell it. So
right.
I'm not quite sure how that could hurt them.
Okay. Well, because you're working on your website. It's almost done, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then reapply once your website is
But
complete.
again, I'm really, I need to get out my feelings about it because I kind of feel like, well, you didn't want to work for me in the beginning. Now, when I get big, now, don't come to me now. You
So, are
know.
there other re or suppliers that offer similar items?
So not all. So it's just like when you purchase from SNS or Alpha Broder,
Mhm.
different suppliers have different products, different looks. So it's the same. So, and honestly, the ones that, turned me down, I can't really say that they had anything that I would miss. The
Okay.
ones that I did connect with are the ones that have really stylish items that I fell in love with, because we some stylish people. So, their items, I'm like, yes, and the stuff that I have purchased, and I've been vending a little bit, getting my feet wet. Everything I have, people, this is so cute. This is so cute. So I'm really looking forward to those people that I've met at the vending events to, start shopping off my website.
That's cool. Okay, so what sets your brand apart?
The things that we offer are stylish. And also we offer printing, custom printing. So, I've taken my printing business and brought it over to the pet clothes. So if you want your pet name on there, or if you want a custom design, heck, if you even want your logo printed on your pet clothes, we can do that as well. We have really great graphic design services. So we're always thinking outside the box. We're literally offering everything we offer to humans, we're offering for pets. So that could be glitter vinyl, flock vinyl, that velvet feel, rhinestones, bedazzled brooches, patches. So everything that we've thought outside the box with humans, we brought that to pet clothes.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so entrepreneurship is no joke. What's been your biggest I just want to cry moment in this journey?
Lack of revenue, because I can say that I do regret quitting my job before this took off, but that also accelerated my growth. So I don't know how to feel about, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to feel about that. But I quit my full-time job, so now I have no steady source of income. I
Mhm,
still have my personal bills as well as the store bills
mhm,
and a lack of revenue. That has caused me to get in a depressive state. Um, just kind of like haggle had in the corner from my family and friends. Don't even want to socialize because all you're thinking about is how I'm gonna pay this, how I'm gonna pay that. I worked very hard to get my credits to have I have great credit. I worked very hard over the years from pay cut, layoffs, having a bot-in, Grubhub, Uber. Like, who wants to do all that? So
mhm,
I've worked so hard to get my credit up high. I want to keep it that way. So if I have to choose between the revenue paying my personal bills or the revenue paying the store's light and heat, like, how do you choose? Like, I can only pay a little, like, I have to pay your credit. Because if you
mhm,
don't now, all that goes against you. But at least with the store bills, I can pay a little bit of this and then, catch up later. Because in the printing industry, one order could set you straight for a year.
mhm,
So there's always a chance that an order could come in and you be okay for 3 months, 6 months, or whatever. Or it could be just enough to pay all your bills for that month and you're okay for that moment. So I would say just the lack of revenue has really caused sleepless nights. I mean, crying like in the car on my way somewhere, crying and just have to get myself together before I get there.
yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely difficult. And I still work full time and I work my business and I never get enough rest. And that's just one part of the struggle. It's just one small part of the struggle, but it is incredibly difficult. And would I do it again if I knew that it was this difficult? Yes, but I think that I would have started much earlier. I would have had more confidence in my abilities. I'm in my 50s. I would have definitely taken the leap when I was probably in my 30s and my 40s, because you know, time is the one thing that you can't get back. And even though I've learned a lot since 2018 when I started my business, I wish I had have started it earlier. I really wish I had have started it earlier. So that's my one, like, I really should have, if I could go back and do something again, I would do. Okay, so on the flip side, what's been your proudest I did that moment in your entrepreneur journey?
Say I can't pinpoint a certain moment right now, but I think I can say how terrible, well, the quality wasn't there when I first started compared to my quality now. I'm up there with the big boys. you know, I've come a long way, and that's one of the things that I constantly do, is reflect because we can be in our own way, and we're always thinking about how we're not where we want to be at that moment. But when I reflect on what it used to look like compared to now, I'll never forget. I did a screen print order. The mentor at the time taught me literally everything wrong about screen printing. And I did this order and it looked horrible and it was nothing I could do. I just started out. I did not have the resources or the education. Later I end up taking a screen printing class. And then later I decided screen printing is not for me. I'd rather outsource that. But just the reflecting of what it looked like then and what it looked like now, oh my God, I just be so proud of myself. And we're constantly learning, we're constantly practicing, we're constantly finding different techniques to get a certain look. So I'm just so proud of how far I've come in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I kind of cringe at some of the photographs of items that I made in the past. And I'm like, I really thought I was doing something. I'm like, oh, girl. Girl.
basic designs. And it's like, now I look at basic designs like, that's it. And look, I'm not an expert in graphics, that take years to master. And so I've had to come to the realization that I'll outsource that too. I work with some really talented graphic designers who specialize in custom apparel, because custom apparel is not the same as getting a business card done, a banner done, or something like that. You're literally bringing people crazy ideas, simple ideas. You're bringing it to life in a way that reflects them and you, because this is still something that you're pushing out for the world to see.
Right, right. Okay, so how do you push through difficult times without throwing in the towel?
Prayer. I do not attend. Well, no, I don't, but I have not attended church since COVID. But I've transitioned that into watching sermons on YouTube. One of my favorites is Bishop Dale Bronner, um, Pastor Steve Furtick, prayer, gospel music. I have a whole lineup on my phone that I could just turn on at any time. Always reading positive and motivational stuff. It's amazing how, like, me just going on Facebook or something like that, it basically has an algorithm for you, right? So every
Mhm,
time I go on Facebook, it's always something that someone posted positive. So just constantly reading that kind of stuff. Having my support system, my husband, my friends. um and my support system when it comes to friends are usually entrepreneurs, because they understand, and we're almost in the same boat. We're all starting from the ground, trying to work our way up to the sky. So just having conversations with them, and just making yourself vulnerable to those particular friends and family who understand what you're going through. You having a bad day, and it's like, I know you're probably having a bad day, so I may not necessarily want to dump my stuff on you, but you have to get it out some type of way, and then they can help you through your situation with encouraging words, or heck, they sending me motivational spiritual stuff, and I do that as well. So it's a give and take, everyone exchanging ideas and positivities to just keep you up. And then my husband is my part of my support system. He knows me better than anyone, and he tells me all the time, like, even on your worst day, you're still better than a lot of people out here. And so that says a lot, because it's like, we want it perfect.
mhm,
And we'll spend an hour on making one tiny thing perfect, and it still looks better than 90% of the stuff that everybody else is putting out. So
mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, one of my coaches told me, you need to release it, and even your 80% of where you think it's 80% great, it's probably somebody else's, 100%.
Mhm.
And you can always come out with the volume two, volume three. iPhone didn't stop at iPhone one. Now we're at 16. So, if you have a project that you're working on and it's good, release it. That's that. Release it, because you can always go back and add to it or make changes. But, you know, you will never see the potential if you keep, you're not going to ever get done if you just continue to revise it and update it and update it, and it's still on your computer and it hasn't been released to the world. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So, you wear lots of hats. You are a business owner, you're a wife, you're a mom, you're a grandma. How do you
Yes.
juggle it all without losing your mind?
Ooh, that has taken some adjustment, practice. Being an entrepreneur caused issues. And so me and my husband been together for 5+ years, but we've only been married. We just made a year in July, and it caused major problems.
Mhm.
Because, thank you, it caused major problems because he's expecting certain things from a wife. And let's be real, I expect things from him, he expect things from me. And me, I'm was honestly being selfish, like, well, I'm trying to build a business, I don't have time for that. And it caused a lot of problems, so I had to basically adjust my time, like, just juggle better. That's all you can really do, is juggle better. Like, I'm not spending as much time with my granddaughters as I like. They're both, the oldest is 4, and my youngest grandbaby will be 4 in February. I'm not spending as much time with them as I like. So I just try to squeeze that in. Like this weekend, I don't have no vending or anything going on, so I'll be getting them for the weekend. So it's just kind of like juggling better, trying to maximize my time better. Maybe this week I don't watch as much TV and I work on certain things, or just having a routine. A routine really helps me. I'm a calendar person. I keep track of everything on my calendar, and I'm kind of methodical in a way, because like on Sundays I have to make his food. He works Monday through Friday. I have to make his food for the week, so I do that on Sundays. And if
Mhm.
anything interrupts that, I'm not too happy about it because I have a routine, and that
Yeah.
routine helps me. So I got that done, so I don't have to worry about feeding him for an entire week. So I like to do it on Sundays. So anything that interrupts that now, for instance, we're going into the holidays. He may say, like this week, he said, okay, well, since it's the holidays, a short week, don't worry about making my food. We'll just wing it. So okay, that gives me a bit of a break. But anything outside of that, if I don't do it on Sunday, now I got to come home from work and do it on Monday.
Yeah.
Or I got to make him something for Monday to hold him over for that one day. So it's like you have to have some type of routine, some type of system, and be consistent. So that consistency has really helped me. And another thing was me working all day. Like, okay, now that even when I wasn't working full time for someone, I I'll start my day like midday. I'm not a morning person. So I start my day midday, and I could work until midnight and it don't even phase me. But when he get home, he expecting some time with his wife. So I've had to learn how to juggle my time better with that and cut it off when he get home. Like I know when he get home, he needs about his own hour to decompress. So at least that give me another hour, and I'll just start wrapping up then. But now that he sees the effort that I'm making, he gives me a little bit more leeway. So he may get home and he'd be like, you can do your work, you can finish your work today. So I'm be happy about that. But I'm still mindful of the time that he requires. Then like with my grandbabies, just trying to squeeze them in any chance I get. I still have a 15-year-old son that's home. Some of the time I spent with him is when I get home. I don't start working right away. If I have anything to do, I kind of, spend a little time with him, chatting with him. Or I have been needing his help with vending and at the store and stuff. So we kind of get our time in there. But it's like spending time with my friends and stuff, try to get that in on the weekends, really like a Saturday, because Sunday I just don't want to do all that unless I do it during the day. But again, you still have to rearrange things.
It is definitely struggle, and I completely understand the whole, especially with your personal relationships, because you get out what you put, and if you're not nurturing those relationships, ish can happen. I mean, I've been married 31 years. And I work my job during the day and I work in the evening. But as soon as my husband comes home, I drop everything and spend a couple of hours with him. But then I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh, I could be doing X, Y, and Z. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. But I know that it's incredibly important for me to invest that time in our relationship. So I do, carve out when as soon as he comes home, because he is only home for a few hours. If he works overtime, he's only home for a couple hours before he's going to go to bed, and he's in bed
Right.
by 8. So I can do whatever I need to do after 8.
Right.
It's a
And
little
we
problem.
we we've
No, go ahead.
had counseling, and I mean, and this statement that the counselor told us really applies to everything. It's like you have to be present in that moment. Like you can't spend quality time with someone thinking about work. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't it's not that's not healthy. So that took some time. Like it's so
But it's
it's
hard
a
to
million
turn
things
that
with
off.
racing.
Mhm,
Women's mind are totally different from me, and it's a million
mhm,
things racing through our mind at all times.
mhm,
And so being able to shut that off, that has taken practice and dedication to really being able to be present in the moment with friends and family.
mhm. I can't say that my brain ever shuts off where I am 100% present. It does not happen. I'm always thinking about either something to do, a checklist. There's always something going on in my mind, even while I'm engaging. It's still, that is a struggle for me. And it has always been a struggle for me. I can remember my son telling me, and this was before I even started the business, I would host an event, and this family event, and people weren't doing what I wanted them to do when I wanted them to do it. And I'm a personality. And my son he grabbed me by my arms and he's like, Mom, just live in the moment. He said, you just have to pause and live in the moment. They'll get on board with the next activity because it was a family reunion. And I'm like, we're
Okay.
supposed to be here at this time. And my son's just like, stop, just live in the moment. So he definitely grounds me, and makes me realize when I'm being a bit much. So definitely, okay, you're doing too much. Calm down. But that's really good. I mean, but it's really difficult to take the time. But any relationship that you want to have, you have to, invest in it. I actually had two friends, really good friends, recently. They're just like, you know what? We mad at you because I haven't been available. And it's difficult. It's difficult. And I said, you know what? I have to be a better friend. So I've realized that I'm only working. I'm only, doing my day job. I'm not doing anything else. So I have to figure out how I can make sure that I'm still present for people that I really care about,
Right,
in
right.
2025, because I have really been kind of absent in 2024. So I'm
So I've been one of my favorite people that I like to listen to is Brad Lee, and he talks a lot about how you really need to um what's the word? You really need to pay attention to your relationships. And that goes back to Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And relationships are a commodity. It is so important to have um healthy relationships with friends, family, um, mentors, customers. Like, you really have to cherish those relationships because that can get you further than you could ever imagine. Like, you may need to open up a business and they giving you trouble at City Hall, and here you have a relationship with someone that can just open that door for you. So
right.
Bishop Bronner says that we need 3 Ds, which is in business, which is doers, donors, and door openers.
Ooh, that's good.
Doers, donors, and door openers. And I was like, that says a lot. And I promise you, all the different things, because I'm constantly reading, constantly trying to educate myself with business and relationships and stuff. And they all saying the same thing about how important your relationships are, because you never know where it can take you.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Doers, donors, and door openers.
Door openers.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so when you're not hustling your business, how does Takina relax and recharge?
I am a TV person. I love TV. I mean, my mother is a TV person, so I grew up on TV. My
Mhm.
mother would have me watching Perry Mason, Heat in the Heat of the Night, all these old, the old fashioned shows. So I grew up on TV. So that stuck with me. So one of the I could stay in the house and just watch TV all day and be fine with that. Just watch, when COVID happened, that's when binging became a thing. And I've been binging, didn't know I was doing it. So I'm a TV person. I also ride motorcycles. And the business, oh my gosh, that's such a passion of mine. One of my jobs, I used to teach people how to ride motorcycles. Okay, like I've done a lot of different things, but I have not been able to really have time to ride as much as I want to. One of the things I'm sad about is this year I wanted to get the rest of my states. I am short, I think 23 or 28 states. I got 33 under my belt. I was not able to complete that goal. So I'm kind of sad about that. Got to get out my feelings about that. So I do love riding motorcycles.
So what does that
Um,
mean? What does that mean that you have?
so I've traveled on my motorcycles to 33 states.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Yep. So I have 20 something left. Um, so I'm kind of bummed about that. And that's it. So riding motorcycles, TV. I love TV. That's the immediate things I could do. You know, I would like to go on vacation more. I love warm water beaches. So send me to a beach with warm water and I'm in heaven. But you know, that's something you have to plan. That's not a spur of the moment thing. So between those two things, that's something that relaxes me.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I knew that you rode motorcycles, but I did not know that you taught people how to ride motorcycles.
That
That's,
was a that was a job. Cause you're giving me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. I suffered
oh
from a
wow.
heat stroke on my first year teaching. I
Mhm.
suffered from a heat stroke. You out there on the hot pavement in the beating sun. Oh my God. You know, that's something that I don't think I would ever do again.
Wow. Okay, so where do you see PetTee Apparel in 5 years? Will you be the Louis Vuitton of pet fashion?
Yes, but without the price tag. My goal is to offer really stylish items that you're not gonna find at your typical pet retail shop,
Mhm.
but also affordable. Um, you know, because I of course I want to make a profit, but I also don't want to gouge people. So you know, I envision it being the go-to destination for pet apparel and accessories. I want to open up in different states. You know, I want our e-commerce, like I want to hear that ding on my phone every 5 minutes. I want to hear that ding or order coming through. Um, but you know, I just want people when they think of PetTee Apparel, I want people just to think of different. Like the first thing that come to their mind, that is different. Like I say, we're printing on pet clothes. You know, the things that we're selecting is things that I feel like is super cute. And you know, and I want you to feel the same way, like your dog, like I want our clothes to be able to match your dog's personality. You know, I'll be watching a bunch of different dog videos and cat videos, and the stuff be so funny, and it's amazing how like they have their own personality. So I want everything that we sell to match your dog's personality, and I want you to say, hey, you know what, my dog is so sassy, I can go right to PetTee Apparel and find the perfect outfit and get the perfect print if you choose.
I love that. Okay, so what size, because you know I got a big dog, what size is your apparel? Is it for all sizes of dogs?
So yes, so we have tiny all the way up into a 4X, and you know it's based on your measurements,
Mhm.
which you measure from the back of the neck to the tail and then around their girth. But we do cater to the big dogs as well.
Okay, so we'll go to quick rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite pet breed to dress?
Um, you know, I love toy dolls. Like when we do get a dog, I want a toy doll. They are so cute. They face like you just want to kiss their face. But mostly small dogs because you know small dogs have the sassiest attitudes. They
They
like
do.
little firecrackers. So
They do.
you know, like they have these big personalities. It's usually the smaller dogs. Like I have a potential customer that I met about a week ago. Her dog name is Lady Pearl, and she is a Pomeranian and she's white. And apparently, you don't see many white Pomeranians. But this dog has such a big personality. Like she was standing there talking to me too long, and Lady Pearl let her know, like, I'm ready to go. Like, "Rrr, let's go." Like she was looking at like, "Rrr." Like it was just so funny, like just to see the personality. And it's usually the small dogs that have these grand personalities. So I would say the smaller dogs, toy dogs, the Yorkies, the Chihuahuas, the Pomeranians, dogs like that. But I'm also looking forward to the bigger dogs like your dog. What kind of dog you have?
Old English bulldog.
I envision, I actually found a supplier who make the custom collars. Like she can deck it out. So you know how Snoop Dogg used to have uh what kind of dogs he had,
The
the skinny.
the Doberman, was it Doberman?
I think so. Like I envision like just a badass dog with a badass collar on that I made, and all the collars will be custom. You know, just standing there badass. Especially, I really want to collar out the pit bulls. I am really looking forward to that. Because you know, you've seen some really stocky muscle muscle bound pit bulls, and they may not, I ain't saying they killers or anything, but I mean they look so badass, and for them to have on one of my collars, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm actually in the process of collecting the ones that I want them to make, and then so I want to do a photo shoot with the pit bulls, so I will be doing some type of call for, hey, reaching out to different people who own pet bulls and come and just do a photo shoot with the dog with the collar on. Like, I see it, like it's just so
That
badass.
or a fashion show. That or a fashion show.
Oh, that's a great idea. See, that's why I like talking to my peers, because I consider you as a friend, because they give you ideas that you wouldn't even think about.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of pet fashion shows on, different places, but I think that would work for you.
Yeah, that's a
As-
good idea.
Especially
And
like
I'm out.
for your new line, if it's like for spring apparel, how they do the runways. They have a different line, season line. So that's all right. So what's one thing you can't live without in your business?
Equipment or what? Like
Anything,
just anything?
just in general.
My laptop.
Oh, that's good.
I take my laptop everywhere. I have my book bag that's, it has a section in there for your laptop.
Mhm.
I take my book bag everywhere. And I feel like and sometimes I have to leave it in the car. And I'm like, if someone steal it, I feel like that's my life. That's why, I got insurance, but at the same time, like I have software on there. Oh, and my USB drive. I have not transitioned into the cloud, because that gets costly.
Mhm.
And I have like a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte USB drive. So
Mhm.
I can keep a lot of stuff on there. I have designs on there, things we've done for customers, things that I've visualized and created. So things are just sitting, waiting to be printed, and my ideas for the pet clothes, my business plan, like literally everything. So those are the two things: laptop and USB.
Okay, so you have an external hard drive. Do you
Yes,
back up that external hard drive?
I do not.
Okay, you may want it just to be on the safe side. Because I do the same thing. I don't keep everything on my hard drive on my computer because with all the art and the graphics, it's just way too much. My computer
Right.
really slow. So I have an external hard drive, but then I have a backup hard drive that I'll back up. I try to do it once a month where I just
Okay.
automatically back it up. That way, if anything happens with this one, I've at least got, you know, everything before the last month.
So
Just
I will do that.
as a backup.
I will do that. So I'll order me another one of those. And let me tell you,
Mhm.
um, years ago, I would say about 12 years ago, I had bought my house, moved into my house, but I still had a few items in the apartment that I moved out of. I had my window cracked down a little bit too much, and my purse was on the seat. This is totally my fault. Just not even thinking, just running in, running out. By the time I came back down, my purse is gone. And guess what was in there? My
Your
USB drive.
and you never got it back.
Never, I was sick. So I had to start over. And I haven't thought about that until you just said about backing it up. So I will be ordering me another one on Amazon today and start doing that. Look, I'll be putting that in my calendar to do it on the last day of every month.
Yeah, yeah. Just the thought of everything that's on my USB on my external hard drive getting lost. Yeah, I would be sick. I would be sick. And I do try to save some stuff to the cloud, but not everything.
Right.
So
Because
yeah,
that's, I'm kind of skeptical about the cloud as well, because they get hacked so much. So, and plus the cost, like I'm trying to save on expenses, not rack them up.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so describe Pet Tea Apparel in 3 words.
Words would be stylish, different, and affordable.
I like it. I like it. Stylish, different, affordable. Okay. So, what's the first thing you'd buy if Pet Tea Apparel made you a millionaire overnight?
I already wrote down my house. So I have a vision of a house, and I literally want everything in there I could possibly need. that I could possibly need where I don't even have to leave the house. Um, so I would say a house.
Okay. And who inspires you the most?
Hmm. One one person? It would be one, like you asked me, like one person.
However you answer it, however you choose to answer. So it could be a person, it could be a team, it could be, you know,
Okay.
a pastor, it could be, whatever inspires you the most.
Honestly, me. I could, because I have a vision for my life, and I'm like you, where I feel like I wish I would have started my journey earlier.
Mhm.
And now, I'm 43 and I don't have a lot of time left on this earth. So, I just envision my future. I want to leave a legacy to my kids. And so all of the thoughts that I have in my head, like, I'm inspiring myself. Like, I want to be in a certain place by a certain time. And in order to get there, I have to do a lot of things. It's a lot of steps in between. So I inspire myself.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like
I
that.
love the the Snoop Dogg interview. He said, "I want to thank me for not giving up on me." That's a real statement.
It,
That is a
it,
true
you know, it
statement.
is because it's so easy to give up when things get difficult. And, to have the wherewithal to continue to push, even in spite of things being difficult, even when you don't feel like it, even when you can't see a way, things get really difficult. This entrepreneur journey is, yeah, it's difficult, but I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it, but it is difficult. And that segues into my next and my last question. Okay, so before we wrap, what's one piece of advice you give to anyone out there dreaming of starting their own business?
I would say educate yourself. There are a lot of business service organizations who get money from the government, and they also get money from private donations. Rich people, people that we're trying to become, actually donate to those organizations to help small businesses. So educate yourself and just start with that. Um, in Illinois, we have a lot of them. Chicago, look, the Chicagoland area. I love Chicago, even though it gets on my nerves. But I mean, what's this amazing city? It's an amazing state. So some of the things that we have here, for anybody who's in Illinois, is Sunshine Enterprises, Chicago Urban League, Southwest Development Corporation, Southland Development Corporation. It's a lot of different businesses that, cost little to no money to join. And they have a lot of resources for you. Chicago Sunshine Enterprise and Chicago Urban League in particular make a lot of connections with a lot of other different organizations, as well as private individuals, where they can really offer you resources that you just won't find anywhere else. And anyone else in other states, just look in your state or your city and find an organization that are dedicated to help small businesses. ChatGPT, that is your best friend. Learn how to use it. It's not as difficult as you may think it is. Software, you need your software like Microsoft Office, um Adobe PDF. I found one called Foxit PDF, that's way cheaper, and you can purchase a one-time license. What else? Well, I use Photoshop. I most recently just really started using Canva, but learn how to use Canva, because you'll need to make graphics, flyers, and things like that. Um, that so you can push out your marketing materials. Also, find you some graphic designers that you could work with, that you trust, that can provide you with graphic services, because if you don't know graphics and you're not sure about placement and how things should look visually and attractive, hire a graphic designer. And there are very reasonable graphic designers out there. Or you can reach out to Tipsy Threads and we can do some graphics for you. Let's see what else. Books, whether it's audible or an actual book, you need to start reading. You need to start reading books about how to deal with people. You need to read books about businesses, of how to become an entrepreneur. you need to read true books, people life stories. Like that is so inspirational. Um, like last night, I was watching the Coco Chanel story called Coco Before Chanel. Like things like that. Like people been through a lot and they are at where we're trying to be. So you don't have to um recreate the wheel. Like look at people's story. Like I just purchased, one of my friends who's an entrepreneur, he just put me up on a Jay-Z book. What is it called? I have to look at my phone. But the Jay-Z book, so I just ordered that one. And there's some other books that I watched, the Steve Base I mean not Steve, the Bezos story, the Amazon, like, and that's a short movie. So now, like again, I'm a TV person, so I've been watching real life stories. Like I haven't finished. I've been watching The Banker. I haven't finished that yet, so I got to start that over. The Bankers with Samuel L. Jackson and Anthony Mackie. That's a true story about two Black guys who, was buying real estate and wanted to start a banking. Back then, the challenges that they faced. And for me, I'm like, stories like that, I'm crying about my situation. Just think about what they went to and what they accomplished. So you gotta really dig deep into reading, educating yourself, learning what people went through, because they made mistakes that we can avoid. What else? Your support system. Lean on your support system. It cannot be just a take. You have to give back. So it has to be a give and take relationship. And most importantly, start writing out what you want to do and what it is you need to do it. Make you, even using Microsoft Excel, make an Excel sheet on, even if it's, like if you're like, for us, we're printing, right? We need to make a list of all the equipment we need to be successful. Just start making a list and finding the prices. Shop around. Just have it there for when you're ready. And that's all I have for you right now. The list
That
goes on and
that
on.
that is an amazing list. So you touched on support system from outside organizations that can assist you, non for profit that will help you. You touched
Yes.
on systems, as in software systems. You touched on your support system. I mean, literally books, movies. I mean, you gave a lot of information, and I will drop the links to everything in our comments so that people won't have to search for those items. So I'll drop the links for those. But that was a really good list. I'm writing notes. I'm like, no, wait a minute, it's recorded, I can get it. 'Cause a couple of those
I
things
so
I haven't seen, a couple of the
so
movies I've never seen, so I'm
oh,
gonna
oh,
definitely.
I got. What I'll do is I'll actually make a list of books and movies
Okay.
that can really help anybody,
Okay.
that's a business owner. Some Let me tell you, some of the books may be a little dry, like How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and that was written back in the early 1900s, but it's
Oh
still
wow.
true today. And when you listen to successful entrepreneurs who are alive now, they still reflect back to that book. Like it's still relevant. So I'll make a list of movies and books that people should watch who wants to be a successful entrepreneur. And again, this is not a well, it's kind of a blueprint. Like we're still finding our way through it,
Mhm.
but we learned the hard way. So why would you want to learn the hard way? Like we're telling you some of the things you need to do to avoid the pitfalls where you don't have to file bankruptcy. We're still finding our way, but I didn't make this stuff up. All of this stuff either came from people who are more, you always have to surround yourself with people who are better than you.
Mhm.
So the things that I'm doing have come from people who are better than me, or things that I've learned the hard way and had to figure it out and stumbled upon things myself. So
Yeah. It's so much easier to tap into resources and not recreate the wheel.
yes,
We're in
absolutely.
an age where there's too much information for us to start recreating the wheel. You
Yep.
know, the truck is already made. Hop on
Yep.
and
Hop
figure
on.
out which direction you want to go
You want to
in.
go.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our final question, or my final
Okay.
question. Okay, so where can people find you and PetTee Apparel?
Okay. So our website supposed to be done this week. We had some delays, but our website is petteeapparel.com, and that's petteeapparel.com. Our phone number is 708-897-0320. Our email is stylishpets@petteeapparel.com. So that's stylishpets@pettrel.com. We're also on Facebook as PetTee Apparel, and we're also on Instagram as PetTee_apparel. And let's see what else. So those are the only two social media we have right now. But that's where you can find me.
Okay, so do me a favor and share your screen so that
Okay.
people can see some of the amazing items that you can get at PetTee Apparel.
Okay. So one of the first things I want to share is this is the best that I actually practiced on this one. Again, we always practicing and getting better at what we do. And I've never printed on such tiny items and working with different patches. So this is a vest that we made, and this is
Oh, you
one of
know
the
what? I
things that
can't.
we're offering. You
I
can't.
can't. Oh, okay, I can see it now. I can see it
Okay.
now. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's because of the background. So
Okay. Okay, right there. You're good right there. Okay.
okay.
It's
So
cute.
unfortunately you can't see it that good because of my screen. But so we can deck this out however you want. We have some brooches on here, some patches. We can do custom names, glitter vinyl. So you can we have different vinyl options. And then I'll share my screen and just show you that some of the things that we have in stock. Okay. All right. Can you see it?
Yes, I can. So
Okay, so these are our winter jackets for people that live in the cold states. Your dog, even though your dog has fur, your dog still gets cold. So these are some of so I would call this the North Face of pet clothes. It's not North Face, but the quality is like North Face. Keep your dog wet. And so we actually have a line I call Bark and Bougie. And it's playing off of the designer item. So instead of it's Chanel, it's Chunel. Really well crafted items. We also have matching mats to go with it. And this is a mix of embroidery and lace and some other materials. So that this one actually matches that hoodie. So that the second item you seen, the Chanel, was a hoodie. So this actually matches that hoodie. This is another Chanel hoodie. This is actually my friend's dog in the hoodie. Like, it's really, really cute. And then we also have matching collars, poop bags, and leashes. And this is real leather. And I know some people, may not want to buy leather, but it's a really stylish item, very reasonably priced. We have matching sets. You can also have a bow tie. So this is a harness with a matching poop bag, really cute bow on the back. So everything we have is stylish. And this is Gucci. So this is part of our Bark and Bougie line. Different. This is a hoodie, really well crafted materials. That's actually a matching mat to go with those hoodies. Again, this is part of our winter lineup. And this is one of my favorite pieces. It looks even better in person. So these are some of our hoodie options. Well, we can print on here, so we can do patches, we can do names, we can do designs, and you can get it in either patches or vinyl. Then we have different vinyl options. This is part of our Bark and Bougie line. So instead of it's Tiffany & Co., it's Wolfany & Co. in the Tiffany colors. And this jacket is this is a reversible jacket that's actually it has a different material on the inside. The materials actually on the inside is actually like this blanket right here. It has the matching blankets to go with it as well. This is the matching mat that goes with it, and then you can purchase it individually or as a set. So we do give you a discount if you purchase it as a set.
so cute.
Thank you.
Now I want to go out and get a girl dog.
Well, we also have boy dog options.
Hmm.
So like the Gucci, is more boyish than it is girlish. But we have, plenty of other options that we'll have on our website that you can choose from. Some of our stuff, do have the girly colors, but most of our stuff is unisex, like those winter coats and the hoodies. So like if you get a unisex hoodie, you can girl it up by getting some girly patches, or getting the bedazzled brooches, or getting glitter vinyl printed on it. So you can girly it up if it comes as unisex.
I like that, Janelle.
Thank you. That's actually one of my best sellers so far.
It's so cute. That's so cute. And it is high quality. I had the opportunity of going to your shop and feeling the actual,
Yes.
these are quality coats. These are not your basic, coats, sweaters, for your pets. These are high quality items, high
And
quality.
it's an affordable pricing. I'm getting it from the suppliers at an affordable price, and I'm able to sell it at an affordable price where you can, I want people to buy different things. Like, I don't want to have the price so high where you can only order one thing a month or every quarter, quarterly or whatever, because we go into different seasons. So, if you want to get two jackets for this season, I want you to be able to afford it without having to, really like swipe your credit card or go into debt to buy your pet items, because honestly, you could be using that money for other things. Your dog gets sick, you might have a high vet bill, but your dog still needs to be warm for the winter time. So I really want to make it at an affordable price.
Love that.
Except for, like this, I'm be honest, this Woofany, those mats are pricier because it's a mix of prints like embroidery. It's not really lace, it's like sheer. So it has a different, and this is embroidered. So, embroidery itself costs a lot of money. So I can say that the mats will be my most expensive item. But let me tell you about the mats. My friend dog who had on that Trunelle coat, she was sick of her dog on her rug. And so when she bought the mat, now the dog, now her name is Coco. Her name is actually Coco. Um, she actually, so now she's no longer on her rug, she's on her mat, and you can wash the mat, you hang them up to dry. But it's a product that may cost a little bit more money, but it's long lasting and it's keeping them off of your stuff. So that's why I say, hey, get your dog their own stuff so they can stay off of your stuff.
Yeah.
We'll also be adding bedding to it, and we'll also be looking into getting custom print on the bedding as well. So we'll be adding as we go along, but in the beginning stages, I really need to be mindful of what we're offering. So, because I don't want to make the same mistake that I made when I first opened up the print shop, where I bought a bunch of stuff that did not sell, bought a bunch of different colors that people never really didn't want. Like, no one really wants an orange shirt. That's a special item that people may want. That's not something that's going to sell on a daily basis. So just really mindful of what we're getting in for our initial inventory, but we will be adding, because again, I envision this to blow. Like, I found the sauce for my business. Found the sauce for your business.
Yeah, that I absolutely love that. Well,
Thank you.
thank you so very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. You dropped a wealth of knowledge. I will be gathering all those links so that people can find, how to, start their business, how to grow their business. I hope that the information that was provided was useful. I know that it was useful for me. I took some notes. Is there any closing words that you'd like to say?
Let's see. I would say there were plenty of times that I thought I made the wrong decision, when it came to being financially strapped. But I can tell you that I am so happy that I did become an entrepreneur. And all I can say is just keep going, educate yourself. And what helped me along the way is educating myself. Watching the movies, reading the books, that gave me inspiration, because I'm like, now we're in a day and age where everything is at our fingertips. So there's no reason why you cannot be successful. But you can't be successful if you stop, if you quit. You have to be consistent, just keep going. Take notes, just figure out how to put everything is in our head. You have to get it out. Find out, okay, this is the idea I have. How can I put it into action? So just create action steps for yourself. Just keep going. That's all I can say. Just keep going and surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, as well as people that are on the same level as you, because you can bounce ideas off of them. They bounce ideas off of you, and you know, you kind of play off of each other where it's like, dang, like you just said, the fashion show. I did not think about that. That's a great idea. And it could be fun and it can be engaging. So just surround yourself with the right people. And I'm telling you, you will face people. Even my husband was you know, doubting my abilities because, you know, he was there from the beginning and like he spent his own money for the business. He built things for the business. So it's not that he didn't support me. He's just like, okay, is this going to work? Because I'm spending a lot of time and money into it. So make sure you surround yourself with people who can uplift you. And they may not be there, you know, to uplift you all of the time because they may be going through things or they seeing things and don't see your vision. So they can, you know, have a little doubt in their mind, but don't let that discourage you. You know, as long as they're there to support you and love you and it's not malicious, you know, you need that negative feedback as well because what they said could possibly make sense. Like, okay, well, I don't see your vision. And if I don't understand and you're explaining it to me, maybe you need to rethink what you're talking about or what you're thinking about and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So even a negative feedback can make you come back better than ever. So don't just, you know, drop a person because they been a little negative Nancy, but just take all of that feedback to your advantage, whether it's good and bad, and just fix it.
I love that. Fix it.
Fix it. Fix it. Think about it.
Fix
Think
it.
about it. Watch a movie. They had the same problem. How did they fix their problem?
Yeah.
Talk to mentors. You gotta have mentors. People who are smarter than you and who are in a higher level than you. Because honestly, a mentor is that's a burden on a person to be a mentor. Like it's a different level of responsibility. So I'm not gonna have a mentor that's not higher than me. I'm sorry, I'm not. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get where you're at or surpass you. So have a mentor who can guide you in the right direction and who won't um turn into an enemy because you're surpassing them. So just be mindful of who you have in your corner.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It's real good.
Thank you. Dropping bombs, as Brad Lee say. Oh, that's one of my favorite people. Brad Lee. His website, his hashtag is the real Brad Lee. That
Oh,
man is down to earth. He has a podcast called Dropping Bombs.
I'm gonna have
And
to
he
look it
has
up.
rich people on his podcast, like real down to earth rich people. So
I'm gonna
that's
have
some
to
stuff
look
you
it
need
up.
to add to your database,
Yeah, I
to
definitely
your
will.
educational resource.
Yeah, because I'm always looking for inspiration. You know, whether it's with a video or it's affirmations, the Bible, of course. You know, just music. I mean, you find inspiration in different places. So yeah, I'd love to check him out.
Yep.
Dropping bombs.
And give me a couple of days and I'll have a list for you. Because I'm actually excited about creating a list because, you know, you may read a book, but you may have to go back and read it two,
Mhm.
3, 4, 5 more times. Like that one time is not enough. This is my second time reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. And my mentor really convinced me to go with Audible because I like to highlight and take notes and stuff, but I'm in a like I just really didn't have the time to read books. And so she sent me a book on Audible and I'm in love with Audible. So
Oh,
even if
I've
you just
had
a
Audible for
subscription. Oh
years.
yeah, you sent me an Audible book. So you see what I'm saying? Like my people, your people come through for you. So Audible is my friend now, like ChatGPT. So you can have it in your car, just listen to it as much as you can and just keep going back, keep reading, because you get something different from it every time. And it helps you along your journey too, because it may not have resonated with you when you first read it, but as you're going through your journey and you go back to it, you're like, okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Bible because sometimes you can hear a scripture or read a scripture and it doesn't hit the same as when you're going through something else. You're like, "Ooh,
Yes.
that was for me. I felt
Yes.
that."
Like, thank you, Heavenly
Yeah,
Father, for
yeah.
making, you know, one of my prayers is make it preschool plain.
Ooh, that's
Make
good.
it preschool plain. And I actually got that from one of my mentors who's very spiritual. She's actually a pastor. When we pray, she'd be like, God, make it preschool plain. Because I'll tell you, sometimes it be signs and symbols. You know, that's in the Bible. You get these signs and symbols. You'd be like, okay, God, was that for me? If that's for me, burn this bush. He burned the bush. And you'd be like, God, is that
It's,
for me? Have a purple car roll past me, a purple car roll past you, you still asking God if that sign is symbol for you.
that's good. That's good. Please explain. I love that. I may have to borrow that one.
Yes, yes, please do. Please
School
do,
plan.
because everything we do is spirit led, and I am not here from off I'm not here from my wits and my prettiness. Like, God has really brought me through this, and he has a vision for your life, and it might take you for a lifetime to see that vision. But when you start focusing in on it, it becomes preschool playing.
Yeah. I know this year I was very intentional and about being more obedient.
Okay.
And that, it's not saying that it's difficult, but it is not easy for someone who has an A personality, and I always want to be in control. And I had to
Yes.
realize that I'm really not the one that's in control. And when I had to come to that realization, like, okay, so like I'm off work, my day job this week and next week. I have a couple of responsibilities that I have to do this week with family and with the business. But next week, it's all about me and God. I'm really carving out some time where I can truly sit down and just listen because
Okay.
there's so much stuff going on. Are you really listening? Can you really hear? And I just want to make sure that I am truly obedient and intentional about every move that I make in 2025.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in order to do that, I need to start the year out, where it's just me and him just listening and just really not planning my stuff myself and then asking, is this what you want me to do? Asking
Guilty.
first.
Guilty.
And
Now
then
I need him to get me out of this pickle I've gotten myself in, because I didn't listen and wait and listen to him in the first place.
that part.
Now look at me.
That part. So that's why I said, this year I need to do things a little bit differently. I need to really, find out what do you want me to do, and I do believe that I'm on the right track. But that's once again, that's me believing that I'm doing what. So, but I need confirmation. So,
Make it preschool plain, Lord. Make it
good plan.
preschool plain.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your expertise and dropping so many gems. You gave a lot of really, really, really good information. And I thank you so very much.
Thank you. That's the confidence that I continually need, just knowing that I'm on the right track. And then when people say, "Well, okay, I like that," and like what you just said, so that gives me that boost of confidence, because every day is not a perfect day for us.
Girl, it is not. It is not. And I love your products. I love your products. I love the fact that you've pivoted from, a people apparel to pet apparel because, people love their pets and I'm one. My dog is my buddy. He is definitely my buddy. So I am looking forward to seeing where your business goes. I am excited about the new launch of your website, and I cannot wait to see all the good things that are going to happen in 2025 for Takina
Thank
and
you.
PetTee
You
Apparel.
too. You too. I know you're doing big things with Josie May, so I'm looking forward to that, because I bought your book and everything, and your journals and stuff, and that's part of giving back to yourself. Part of your growth is journaling and reading those type of books. Unstoppable. Like, that word itself is powerful. So just a daily reminder.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure to interview.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure always. All right.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.